Hi there, I'm Vincent Boss and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing dumper regret at Thanksgiving and special events. I provide audio coaching to help people try and get their ex back or get a new girlfriend or boyfriend. Check out my website for more details. www.dateme.tips. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast. And today we are discussing dumper regret at Thanksgiving and special events. If you've been dumped, one of the hardest times of year is Thanksgiving or other parties and events. It's very natural to be wondering if your ex is thinking of you during major events and whether they can regret their decision about ending your relationship. In today's podcast, I'm going to discuss 3 reasons why Thanksgiving and other parties might cause your dumper to regret ending your relationship. So let's get straight into this. And number 1 is past memories. Now, whenever we experience parties, events, things such as Thanksgiving, we have huge memories from the past. And past memories could be one of the reasons as for why your ex, the dumper, regrets their decision of ending your relationship. If you consider the memories that you and your ex had at past Thanksgivings or past major events, you will understand that these are things which will be thought of when the next event comes along. So if we are considering Thanksgiving, that when this day comes along, your ex will naturally be thinking of past Thanksgivings which you would have been a part of. Now we have to understand that because of something called the fading effect bias, negative memories fade sooner and quicker over time than positive memories. So when we consider this, any of the negativity which may have happened because of your breakup and the aftermath are more likely to have lost value in the dumper's mind than the positive memories you had from the past. So if you enjoyed great Thanksgivings together, if you enjoyed great events and parties together in the past, these memories will hold weight for a longer period of time than the negative memories which took place over the breakup. The fading effect bias dictates that negative memories lose their value sooner than positive memories. So that is something very important to remember, because when we think of past memories, we will think of them in a better light than the negative things which have happened. People won't forget about the negative things, but they will lose weight, they will lose value. And the positive memories of the past, the positive memories of past Thanksgivings will shine through longer. Now, if and when your ex thinks about the past, if and when they think about the parties, the events, the Thanksgivings that you two spent together, this can be something which creates a scenario in their mind where they begin to miss you and they begin to regret their decision. This is very possible, and this happens more often than you might think. Parties, events, Thanksgiving, things such as this often act as triggers in a dumper's mind to create a scenario where they begin to miss their ex, and this can develop into regret. So if you're wondering whether your ex will ever regret their decision of ending your relationship, then let me tell you, events, parties, things such as Thanksgiving are the perfect opportunity for your ex to reflect and your ex to regret. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast about dumper regret at Thanksgiving and special events. And point number 2 is gaps in routine. So whether you like to go to a parade, watch a football game, or dance to music, it will be noticeable to your dumper that you aren't there. In fact, it's possible that elements of a celebration can't happen at all due to you not being there. Maybe you are instrumental in a certain part of the day taking place, and because you aren't there, something special can't happen at all. Gaps in a routine can become gaps of the mind and can become gaps of the heart. And this is at the forefront of why somebody might regret their decision. If you understand a scenario where somebody's feeling that their day isn't complete because you aren't there, this will showcase a reason as for why they might regret their decision for removing you from their life. So if you're a dumpee and you're thinking, my ex will never regret their decision, they will never miss me, they will never wish I was with them, well look, you never know what an event, a party, something like Thanksgiving can do to their mindset. If you was instrumental in a certain part of the day taking place, if you was always by their side at the parade, watching the football game, or other things associated with the day, party, or event, then you must understand that this will become a gap in their life, a gap in their mind, and a gap in their heart. There is every chance that because of these gaps, your ex will reevaluate their feelings and understand that you was something very special. The level of romantic emotional attraction that they felt for you at the time of the breakup would have been very low. But things such as this, things such as understanding that a gap in their routine is a gap in their heart, can really start to raise that level of romantic emotional attraction. And if it hits the necessary high point, this is when a dumper will likely reach out to their dumpee and be in the consideration stage of potentially reconnecting. Now, of course, if this happens, the dumpee has to successfully navigate the communication stage, and this can be very challenging. Many of my audio coaching clients have trouble with navigating the communication stage. And this is why I would always say to you, look, if you're worried about this, if you want additional support and advice, please consider my audio coaching service. More details of which can be found on my website, www.dateme.tips. Check it out if you would like to speak with me one-on-one to help with your situation. There is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. Let me put it this way. If you do enough of the right things, you will increase your chance of success in whatever you are trying to achieve. But if you do too many of the wrong things, you will be decreasing the possibility of you reaching your goal. If you would like to speak with me, connect with me via my audio coaching service. So now let's get into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast about dumper regret at Thanksgiving and special events. And point number 3 is food and love. Food and love are connected by the brain's dopamine system. This rewards us with feelings of pleasure. So when we think of the holidays and events such as Thanksgiving, one of the first things that comes to mind is eating a meal together, eating Thanksgiving dinner, eating a meal at an event or party. Now, it's very unlikely that a casual date would be invited to a Thanksgiving meal, and hence it's also very unlikely that a dumper will find a new serious relationship anytime soon after the breakup. When we combine all of these elements, it's likely that there won't be a new romantic option replacing the dumpee at the dinner table. The absence of such person will instead cause the dumper to subconsciously see their position as worse than last year, to see themselves as lower value and going backwards. Regret takes place when we see our decision-making as detrimental to our level of happiness, satisfaction, and fulfillment. If we don't believe that the decisions we have made are pushing us forward, this is when we will regret. And because Thanksgiving is really entwined with the Thanksgiving meal, and parties and events often have food as well, we can understand why food, which gives us that dopamine hit, and love, which also gives us dopamine, when we combine the two, they are very well matched. Food and love go together. And if you and your ex was always together at Thanksgiving, and today you're not, at Thanksgiving this year you aren't together, then you will see that your ex will really notice your absence at the dinner table. That dopamine hit won't be as strong, and there is very unlikely to be a replacement sitting in your seat. As you can see from this situation, food and love are connected, and the opportunity for you to be missed will be increased by an event which has a meal. So if we look at Thanksgiving and the way it is entwined and really connected with this big meal, we can see why there is every opportunity that your dumper will miss you at Thanksgiving, and your dumper could easily regret their decision because they see that their future is not looking as bright as their past once did. If your ex ever feels these feelings, this is when they'll be more likely to miss you, to regret their decision, and to regrow romantic emotional attraction, putting them in the position where if they've hit the necessary high point, they will be likely to reach out to you. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. DateMe.tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back, or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, DateMe.tips, check it out now.